You were sick.
Yes.
Wow.
For how long?
So one of the reasons we wrote Time Bomb was to detail that very much, because there's so many people out there struggling with autoimmune disease.
Yes.
Things they've been conditioned to believe are just maybe hereditary, or there's no explanation. They've been through every test, every scan, every whatever,
That's right.
and they find that one leads to two, and pretty soon their life looks like this thing they never imagined it does. And they're looking at their friends and they're thinking, man, they're my age, they're thriving, what's wrong with me, right? But and we'll get into this. I don't want to get ahead of where you want to go.
No.
But part of the reason we wrote Time Bomb is because it in part kind of details my journey through 20 years of slowly accumulating things like chronic prostatitis, prostatitis, inflammation of the prostate, which creates all kinds of wild pain in the most sensitive areas that a man can possess. Things like pleuritis, pleurisy, inflammation of the lungs, painful bladder syndrome, not random, but I was told random inflammation, burning of the bladder. This just hurts for no apparent reason. I remember sitting at the movie theaters with my wife at times and thinking, if I wasn't hanging in her for her behalf, I would just go home in so much pain, trying to just live and muscle through life. And I had every scan. CT scans that fill me with iodine. They go in, they're tracking whether my kidneys are doing what they want to see. I had 3 colonoscopies by the time I was in my early 30s, 2 urethral scopes, various blood panels. Everything that Western medicine had to offer in terms of treatment plans, pharmaceutical drugs to intervene, and couldn't find lasting or realistically any life-improving relief. And ultimately what ended up happening, this kind of kicked in my late teens, it got really severe in my 20s, and then just through my 30s.
Wait, I just have to stop you.
Yes.
Okay. Oh okay, so young.
So young.
Because most people when they're young, you just
Right.
kind of muscle through it. You just
Yeah,
kind
you
of
have energy and you're
you just
running
think
all over.
nothing's wrong with you. Yeah.
And
yeah.
I did. I muscled through things. And at first I ignored the symptoms. But here was what happened. Ultimately, with all of the pharmaceutical interventions, all of that, not one time was diet or supplementation ever mentioned to me.
Wow.
So I just continue eating whatever it is that Americans eat when they go to the grocery store or through the drive-thru. And I still, after all of the interventions that were available to me through Western traditional medicine, ended up on an operating table January 2017 where I had half of my colon removed surgically. But what I discovered as I came out of that, and this is what I hope to get into, through God-ordained divine appointment after divine appointment with people like Dr. Joshua Vance, Dr. Ralph Umbriaco, wonderful physicians like Dr. Matthew Sams, that treat medicine treat disease and things through more of a holistic, naturopathic approach, I found real and lasting healing. And that really speaks to so many folks,
Yes.
which is one of the reasons I wrote the book Time Bomb. I didn't want to just embellish my own improvement. I am 85, 90% on my way to 100% of being just a normal person again.
Praise God.
But it was God introducing me to a different way of thinking.
Yeah.